Hey everybody, it's book haul time. I've had so many amazing books come in that I cannot wait to tell you about. However, I better get started because if I don't, this video will take forever. So here we go. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you doing today? I hope you guys are doing very, very well. I hope that you are ready for your TBR to absolutely implode. I'm going to be going fast because I have so many amazing books to tell you about that have come to me from publishers in the last 30 days or so. So many books, you guys. So get out your pen, get out your paper, get out your TBR, your Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. And if you are so able, please pre-order these books from your local independent bookstore and or have your library pre-order them. Get them in your hands as soon as possible. So we're going to get started with a little book that is too pretty to say. And this is Girls Lost by Jessica Schiefauer, translated by Saskia Vogel, and this is translated from the Swedish, I believe. Swedish. This is the story of a group of young girls that go to a school where they are treated pretty poorly by the boys in the school. But they have this one place that they come together and they plant things and they sort of have it as their safe haven. And one day they plant a seed and they create sort of this elixir that allows them to change gender and they become boys. And it's about going back into the world as boys and how that is different than existing in the world as girls. Where did I see this? I don't know. Where I saw it was a fantastic review and I am super excited about it and this is so cute. So this is out from Deep Vellum. So thank you very much for sending me this, Sarah. And she sent a nice little card that's in there too. So thank you, Sarah at Deep Vellum, for sending this to me. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be one of those little power pack of a book. So this is Girls Lost by Jessica Schiefauer, translated by Saskia Vogel. I'm going to hold that up there for you guys. And that's a beautiful cover. Can we just say that right now? So this is going to be one of those times where I'm not going to be able to hold up all the books at the end because there are just too many of them. Just letting you guys know right now. Coming out. Oh, I should say when that's coming out. Hold on. This one is coming out March 11th, 2020. So you can get your hands on it not too soon from now. This is A Burning by Megha Majumdar, and I'm probably saying both of those names wrong, and I'm really sorry. This is coming out from Knopf in June of 2020. This is the story of three people and how their lives come together after a terrorist attack in Bengal. And what happens is we have a young girl who makes a comment about the terrorist attack on Facebook and is wrongly accused of being involved. We have a high school gym teacher who takes advantage of this situation and wants to turn it into something that it is not. And then we have a young, sort of introverted, reclusive young woman who, it says, whose exuberant voice and dreams are glory-filled, and they fill the novel with warmth and hope and humor, has the alibi that can set Giovanni free, but it will cost her everything that she holds dear. Now, my friend Emily from the Book Cougars has already read this and says it is freaking phenomenal. Her words, not mine. So that's A Burning by Megha Majumdar, and this is out from Knopf in June 2020. I also think sometimes these sparse covers just have a way of packing such a punch. I just love it. And look, there's the little train. That's what's blown up as the terrorist attack. I've actually started the first 30 or 40 pages of this, and it is pretty darn good. Okay, let's go a little science fiction. We're going to be talking about Hearts of Oak by Eddie Robinson, coming out from Tor, and this comes out in March 17th, 2020. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much about like the specific plot, because I think to me what really sold this was this sort of overarching idea. And it says on the back that buildings grow, cities expand, and as this happens, the people start to act abnormally. People change as this is all occurring. But are they changing because this phenomena is making them different? Or are they changing because they're finally becoming who they are? Now, our main character, by the way, is a close to retirement woman who believes that she's always known and always believed things as they are. However, now she realizes that dark forces, well, not dark forces, there are uncanny forces, not uncanny either, there are forces, and they appear to be acting in mysterious ways. You know how I am about that type of narrator. I think this book sounds so good. And that's Hearts of Oak by Eddie Robson, out from Tor. I'm going to hold that up because that cover is phenomenal. So yeah, out now. Out March 17th, so you can get your hands on it. My friends from Unnamed Press, who I haven't talked about a book in a while, which is just, that is bad on me because they put out such great stuff, sent me Hysteria by Jessica Gross. Now, this book was sold, there's a quote on the back by Courtney Mom, the author, who says this is a mix of Otessa Moshfegh and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. If you like those two things that come together here. So come on. I mean, that's a selling point in and of itself. We have a young woman whose life is just in disarray. At the very beginning of the novel, she's just getting drunk in a bar. She meets a new bartender that she has never known, and she, in her head, believes him to be Sigmund Freud. And their relationship takes off, and all of that sort of craziness that just promises happens. I've actually started this book too. This is going to be one of those books that I'm going to probably want to dive into and just spend like a whole weekend reading. I think it's going to have a lot of beautiful language and a lot of thought-provoking ideas. So that is Hysteria by Jessica Gross. This is out from Unnamed Press, and this actually doesn't come out until August 18th, 2020. So I'm putting it on your radar super duper early. But thank you to my friends at Unnamed Press, because you know how much I love them. I rave about them all the time, and they treat me very, very well. Okay, next is the book, The Undocumented Americans by Karla Cornejo Villavicencio. Sorry, Karla, if I had a hard time with the multiple syllables in that last name. And this is coming out from One World. Now, Karla is currently a PhD student at Yale University, and she was the first undocumented American to be accepted to Harvard. And this is a journalistic investigation into the lives and world of undocumented Americans in our country, and also the story of Karla and her life as an American, eventually getting to this point in her world. I mean, she's a PhD student, and she's put out this novel, and I've heard this book, and I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it too. There's probably a lot to unfold. This sounds to me like this would be a really great book to read with people, because you're going to have a lot of conversation. I also think this book would be a really eye-opening book for a lot of people probably who do not think about the experience of the undocumented Americans here, and how that world exists. So I think there's a lot to unpack here, and I think that I've read the first like 20 pages of this, and Karla can write. So that's The Undocumented Americans by Karla Cornejo Villavicencio, and this is out on May 19th, 2020 from One World. Okay. Next is from my friends over at Counterpoint. This was sent to me by Dory, who said that she remembered that I liked another book, and she thought that I would like this book. And that is Vera Violet by Melissa Ann Peterson. This is actually out already. So this is an arc that came to me after actually it was already out. I saw it on the shelves at the bookstore yesterday, where I was like, Russell, you have to curb your spending. You can't buy everything you want. So next time. This is the story of a young girl. Her name is Vera Violet O'Neill. She lives in the Pacific Northwest. She lives in a world that's just filled with poverty and drugs and just a lot of things going bad. And it says, Vera struggles to establish a life of her own, a life fortified by her friends and her hard-won love. But the relentless poverty coupled with the twin lures of crystal meth and easy money soon shatter fragile alliances. Her world violently torn apart, she flees to St. Louis, Missouri, which my husband lived in St. Louis for a while, has its own issues. There, alone in a small apartment, she grieves for her broken family, her buried friends, and her beloved Jimmy James Blood. And yeah, so when she sent this to me saying, this sounds like a book you would love, and then I read the back of it, I was like, she is right. It kind of reminds me of like Tupelo Hausman. Does that make any sense to you guys? Did any of you guys read Gods with a Little G or Girl Child? I sort of get that vibe from it. So yeah, Vera Violet by Melissa Ann Peterson, out now from Counterpoint Press. Okay. I'm trying, guys. 9 minutes in and I still have quite a stack. Pride of Eden by Taylor Brown. This is coming out in March 2019. Do I have a date? I know it's March 17th. And this one actually sounds really, really interesting, from St. Martin's Press. So thank you, St. Martin's, for sending this one to me. Pride of Eden is about a animal reserve in Georgia. We have a gentleman. He is an ex-military retiree, a veteran, and he saves animals and keeps them on this animal reserve in Georgia, when one day, unfortunately, one of the lions gets out and is killed. And he goes on a mission to replace her, and he's willing to do anything and everything to get a lion back to his reservation. His preserve is better word. Yeah, so as a person who is absolutely obsessed with the life of animals and loves people who rescue them, but also understands the devastation when one passes, this book has a lot of feels for me. I'm hoping that I will get all of that. I probably will cry my eyes out quite a bit if there's, you know, all that kind of stuff that goes on it. But that is Pride of Eden by Taylor Brown, out from St. Martin's Press on March 17th, 2019. I haven't read a Julia Alvarez book in some time. If you guys haven't read her first two books, In the Time of Butterflies or How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents, stop what you're doing, go buy them, get them at your library, download them on your Kindle, however you get your books. They are both absolutely worth it. And I think that this is her first fiction novel in quite some time. And this is Afterlife, coming out from Algonquin. And this one is coming out on April 7th, 2020. I want to tell you, if you ever sit down on this channel and say that Russell and I are the same type of reader, this book belongs on your TBR and you need to pre-order it. This is a story of a woman who has just retired from being an English professor when a tragedy strikes and her husband unexpectedly dies. She doesn't know what to do, and then it strikes again and her sister disappears. Then the next day or so, a young undocumented woman winds up on her doorstep, and she is also pregnant. Yeah, got to make that sound right. And this is a book about dealing with all of that grief and all of that trauma, and also trying to help this young woman. I don't think there's much more. I think the title Afterlife, just from that description, is absolutely perfect. And if you haven't read Julia Alvarez, you are in for a treat. She is a master. So this is Julia Alvarez's Afterlife, out from Algonquin on April 7th, 2020. Okay, I can't remember if I've talked about this book already. I couldn't find that I had. I feel like I have, but I'm going to talk about it again to make sure that I did, and that is Barker House by David Moloney. This is out from Bloomsbury. I actually just saw on Twitter that the author has gotten his final copies of this book. So this is out in April. Let me see if I got an actual date. It just says April 2020. So Barker House is the story of 9 different guards that work within a prison, all correctional officers, I believe is what they're called, right? Correctional officers. And it's really the story of all of them over 1 year. And there are all different levels of experience, life experience on the job. You have people who are cynical and look at this really just as an opportunity to take advantage of others. You have other people who really want to do good for those that they are helping in this system. You also have the first or the only female officer on duty who's going to have her own strategy to face the system. And I think this is about the different ways that people react to this system and being part of the system on this side. I think it sounds really interesting. I'm hoping with all my heart that it's super duper thought-provoking and it keeps sort of everything very well-rounded. I'm really excited about it because I don't feel, and maybe it's just me, I don't feel that I've read anything from this perspective before. So I'm really fascinated by Barker House by David Moloney, out from Bloomsbury in April 2020. Okay, let's go. I've done a lot of dark. let's go a little fun and a little bit more whimsical. And that is We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Barry. This is out from Pantheon Books in March. Let me see if they have an actual date here. It just says March 2020. Let me see, there's a piece of paper in here somewhere. I thought, yes, there's a piece of paper. I'm going to get you a specific date. Give me a minute. Nope, I don't have a specific date. But I'm going to tell you that this book is going to be super fun. This is about an all-girls female field hockey team that just happened to live in Hanover, Massachusetts, where the first witch trial occurred, and now it's 1989, and these young witchy women get into a little bit of mischief as a field hockey team as they dabble in magic. I think it sounds absolutely heartwarming and lovely. I don't know. It just says, as wily and as original as their ancestors, the girls flaunt society's stale notions of femininity in a novel that is once funny, moving, and bold. We Ride Upon Sticks celebrates teamwork, big hair, and the magic of discovering your true self. I just feel like, in my heart, I feel like this is a summer read when you need something just to make you smile and laugh and giggle and also just love camaraderie between these group of young girls. Yeah, I'm all bought in of We Ride Upon Sticks by Quan Barry, out from Pantheon Books in March 2020. So probably in the next couple weeks, you will be able to get your hands on that. Okay, 2 left, guys. The Mountain Sings by Nguyen Phan Quay May, I apologize. This is coming out from Algonquin Books on March 17th. Can we just take a moment on that cover? So, all I really know about this book, I don't want to dive in too deep into the story. Family, multi-generational saga, set against the backdrop of the Vietnam War. That's all I need. That's all I need. I am really, really excited about it. Now, I do know that the author has published quite a bit in Thailand, and I believe that this is her first English language novel. So her English and writing has been translated, and then this is her first English writing novel. I'm pretty 99.9% sure that that is accurate. And yeah, I saw this somewhere, and the person reading it was just raving about it. So if you're a fan of like a Pachinko, where you like one of those books that sort of follows a family throughout an arc of time, I feel like this book is going to speak to you. And that's The Mountains Sing by Nguyen Phan Quay Ma, and this is out from Algonquin Books on March 17th, 2020. Okay, guys, last but not least, and I'm actually started this book too, and that is Conger Women by Afia Atagora, and this is out from Random House, also on March 17th. March 17th is going to be a very good day for books. I'm just telling you guys right now. This is the story. This is a fascinating book. Yeah, it's really, really good. So we have 2 time periods. We have what's called freedom time, which is in the 1860s, I think 1867, after slavery has been abolished after the Civil War. And then we have slavery time in 1854. We have a young girl in 1854. Her name is Rue. Her mother is sort of like the woman where everybody comes together, comes to her for sort of those folklore type of magical healing and voodoo and conjuring things that they want done in their life. Something happens, a tragedy occurs, and Rue's mother, tragedy occurs, we'll just say that. And Rue has to step into the role of her mother. In freedom time, Rue is an adult, and she sort of holds this same role in the community in which she lives. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't really want to know too much. I will say I've already read 3 sections, and the flip back and forth, it's seamless. The language is absolutely beautiful. I believe this is a debut, yes. And as a debut, I am utterly impressed so far. So that is Conger, and let's just say that cover, Conger Women by Afia Atagora, out from Random House on March 17th, 2019. So that is quite a stack of books. I hope every single one of them made it on your TBR, you guys, because I think they all sound amazing, amazing. As always, if you're a return subscriber, I could not do this without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are new to my channel, I hope you stay around. Please subscribe. I hope you like my content because I like to talk about books. And as always, I encourage you to shop locally, read globally, and until next time, happy reading. Bye.